The 2024 Senior Bowl from Shouldice Athletic Park in Calgary, Alberta. It's the North versus the South on this IC Live Procast. Happy 2024, everybody. Happy New Year. Connor Toffin, joined by Rob Herod. Rob, it's a bit of a different event this year. Usually this one's played in the spring on that Family Day long weekend, but today we're playing in January. We're in a dome. And it's going to be a little bit of a different look for the game today.
It is, and it's really exciting for these players to have the opportunity to actually play indoors. It's not often in our country at this level you get to play indoors, but the fact that they've got these facilities now popping up and here in Calgary, able to play this game indoors is going to be something special, something that the actual teams are going to have to adjust to. Although most of them would have at some point have practices or camps in domes, but playing in a dome is different because you're looking into a ceiling with lights versus a sky, which is typical for these guys. And what an exciting opportunity for these players from all over the province to kind of reignite post-Christmas break the rivalry in Alberta, which we see so often at the pro level and the university and junior level, and now it's the North-South high school game, Battle of the North versus Battle of the South. Very exciting today.
So in a dome today, Rob, what are some of the differences that we can expect in the game? I would imagine one big one would be special teams, with there being no wind and with there being a roof on where we're playing right now, as well as the field goal posts and the nets in the end zone, which do go up for regular play, but a little different of a feel, I'm sure, for kickers who might have to kick some field goals today.
Well, yeah, you're dealing with very controlled environment, which is actually out of the norm for most of these players in high school. And you got to remember, a lot of these players played on teams that played into November, which again, there was snow. I know we haven't had a lot of snow in parts of Alberta this winter, but again, there was snow and there were conditions, wind, even some rain at times through November. They're going from all these conditions to absolutely perfect conditions. So the kickers, again, it's going to be a good day, and most football players will be pretty excited about playing in a controlled environment like this, be it a new experience for all of them.
What are some things that someone at home should look out for in a game today, whether it's a player on one of the teams or whether it's maybe one of the offenses one of these coaches is looking to install? What can someone look for at home in a Senior Bowl?
I think the big goal of the coaches is to allow the playmakers on the teams to make plays. So your goal on offense is to get the ball into the hands of your playmakers, be it a running back, a quarterback, a receiver. You want it in their hands. You want to give them the opportunity to show their athleticism, because these players only have about 5 practices to learn an entire new system to implement on game day today. And so that is not an easy task. And again, depending on the coaches and their philosophy and the approach to it, again, keeping it simple for the players so they can just get the ball in their hands and then they can make plays. All these players are all-stars. That's why they're here today. And so finding a way to simplify it so they can learn it in the time they have, but also have the opportunity to execute at a high level and be the athletes they can be.
Should be a good game today from the Shouldice Seasonal Dome here at Shouldice Athletic Park in Calgary, Alberta. We're going to throw it to the PA announcer right away. Team North versus Team South in the 2024 Alberta Bowl. Coming right up.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2024 Football Alberta Senior Bowl. Today's game will feature the top grade 12 graduates.
Go ambient. Ambient.
And let's meet the teams. Starting with the North. Number 1, receiver out of Emily High School, Patrick Wallach. Number 2, from Carson Loku. Number 3, from Grand Prairie Phoenix, AJ Wendia. Number 4, Peaceful Pioneers, Denzel Garaba. Number 5, from the Alberta Rising, Tristan Duck. Number 6, from the Melrose Bulldogs in St. Albert, Henry Drive. Number 7, from the Red Hills Vikings, Jerry Phillips. Number 8, from the England Jersey, Daniel Rex. Number 9, from the Hill Vikings, Ryan. Number 10, from the Parkland Panthers, again, the Swiss Road, Rocha. Number 11, from the Hill Vikings, right there, Ethan Vilo. Number 12, from the Holiday Blues in St. Albert, Cameron Coyne. Number 13, from the Hill Vikings, right there, Carter McGargle. Number 15, from the St. Francis Xavier Rams, Hamilton, Talon Homer. Number 17, from the Corbin Finnegan. Number 20, from the Hills Vikings, Marco Paco. Number 21, from the Holy Rosemary Raiders, Lloyd Thomas Augusti. Number 22, from the St. Smith Sabres, Nathan Bouchard. Carson Edmonton, Boston McCord. Number 32 from the Switchfoot Panthers, Answer School, Aaron Watson. Number 33 from the Holy Rosary Raiders, in Lloydminster, Matt Rivers. Number 40 from the Peace Wapiti Academy Titans of Grand Prairie, Colin Martin. Number 43 from the Russian Thunderbirds in Edmonton, Taehyeon Park. Number 44 from the Arizona Warriors in Edmonton, Moisey Mukadusi. Number 50 from the Holy Redeemer Rivers in Edmonton, Jackson Yowski. Number 52 from the Stratford Lords in Edmonton, Brady Clark. Number 54 from the St. Francis Xavier Rams in Edmonton, Kevin Westman. Number 55, again from the St. Francis Xavier Rams, Cole Bergman. Number 57 from the Sherwood Park, from the Bell Racing Club in Sherwood Park, Cale Page. Number 62 from the Rock Sherwood Thunderbirds in Edmonton, Tristan White. Number 64 from the Stanley Wildcats, Austin Weed. Number 77 from the Macomb Rams, Nolan LaFleche. Number 80 from the Macomb Rams, Elliot Miles. Number 82 from the Sexsmith Sabres, Nate Holtman. Number 88 from the Sturgeon Spirits in Sturgeon County, Dustin Campbell. Number 92 from the Oscar Bryant Crusaders in Edmonton, Isaiah Anderson. Number 95 from the Oscar Bryant Crusaders, Alec Chandra. And number 99 from the Stanley Wildcats, Nathan Orakafor. Head coach Brad Weinhardt. And now introducing our softball stars. Starting with number 1 from the Chinook Coyotes in Lethbridge, Gage Parker. Number 2 from the Strathmore Spartans, Taehyeon Park. Number 3 from the All Saints Legends of Calgary, Leon Deaver. Number 4, the Concord Cobras, Cody Vandekreitz. Number 5, from the Strathmore Spartans, Hunter Corrin. Number 6 from the Concord Cobras, Hudson Holden. Number 7 from the Notre Dame Pride in Calgary, Van Nolan. Number 8 from the Concord Cobras, Dave Larson. Number 9 from the St. Francis Browns in Calgary, Zach Miller. Number 10 from the Concord Cobras, Stanley Stone. Number 11 from the Strathmore Spartans, Brody Pepper. Number 12 from the St. Francis Browns in Calgary, Kenachukwa Pinimono. Number 13 for the Western Canada Redhawks of Calgary, Sabor Zishan. Number 15 for the AP Starling Lancers in Calgary, Omar Ilyami. Number 17 for the Springbank Phoenix, Mark Schroeder. Number 20 for the Holy Trinity Academy Knights and Okotoks, Wyatt Danner. Number 21 for the Western Canada Redhawks of Calgary, Alexandre Picard. Number 22 for the Catholic St. Recruiters of Lethbridge, Noah Kimber. Number 24 for the AP Starling Lancers in Calgary, Holcomb Miguel. Number 25 from the Cotton Cobras, Jesse Brute. Number 30 from the Big Pride in Calgary, Noel Yeats. Number 32 from the Georgia Goodward States in Airdrie, Jordan Sutter. Number 33 from the Springbank Phoenix in Calgary, Matthew Shore. Number 40 from the Cotton Cobras, Braden Chamberlain. Number 43 from the All Saints Legends in Calgary, Franklin Macumbu. Number 44 from the Georgia Goodward Mustangs in Airdrie, Wes Brumley. Number 52 from the Cougars Montana in Calgary, Marcus Ramos. Number 54 from the Chester Lakers, Taylor Madden. Number 55 from the Strathmore Spartans, Caleb Dehoop. Number 56 from the Strathmore Spartans, David Marlowe. Number 57 from the Notre Dame Pride in Calgary, Franco Cicerelli. Number 58 from the WH Cavaliers in Airdrie, Abdul Number 64 from the Boston Surgical Dogs and Lethbridge, Jacob Soldier. Number 80 from the Georgia Goodward Mustangs in Airdrie, Tyrell Hoffman. Number 82 from the All Saints Legends in Calgary, Carson Payne. Number 87 from the Chinook Coyotes in Lethbridge, Benson Renninger. Number 88 from the President's Cowboys in Calgary, Ryder Quaser. Number 92 for the Fugos Dolphins, Ian Oakes, Cole Orsorna. Number 95 in Calgary, Ola Waisa Padegi. And number 99 from the Short Counties in Lethbridge, Mitchell Qualley. Also not playing, injured, number 92, Gage Nagasso for Chesterfield. Head coach Scott Lou and the rest of the staff. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we'd ask you to please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Could we get the captains to midfield? Ladies and gentlemen, joining us in midfield is Mr. Cyril Potemkin for the Serenity Hurricanes. Cyril's a teammate linebacker for 2 years. Had his season at All Saints last year, right now, with nasty cancer diagnosis. But we're happy to report with the
Introduce yourselves, fellas.
ourselves as doctors, his teammates in the Calgary football community.
Gentlemen, my name is Al Malott. I'm your referee. I will have the crew introduce themselves and position. Thanks, guys. Cyril will be doing the official coin toss. Cyril, you can keep this coin after. It's the official Calgary football officials coin. Can you hear me okay? Testing, testing. Okay, gentlemen, North, you are the visitors. You have choice of the coin. I'll get Cyril to flip that coin. What would you like? Sorry? Call tails? Tails called. No, put it down. Let it hit the ground.
Oh, okay. My fault.
It's heads. You have your choice now. You can defer. South will defer. Yeah, I know you're going to receive because you want to receive.
Yes.
Which end you want to kick from? Really doesn't matter, does it? All right, green will receive. Have a great game, guys. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
That's yours.
Appreciate you.
Nice story there to get the 2024 Senior Bowl underway. We're through the coin toss and we are just about ready to go from Shouldice Athletic Park here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It's an exciting time for these young players, Rob. Like I said earlier, you really only get one chance in this game. It's at a bit of a different part of the year, so maybe it's not an adjustment per se for these players, but we're playing in January. I know if I was on the field today, I would have a bit of turkey leg still for Christmas. I've been eating too many squares.
Yeah, it can be good and bad for some. They're coming off their seasons. They've got a month to a month and a half, maybe two, between the end of their seasons in this game. So it gives them the opportunity to mend from maybe some bangs and injuries over the course of their high school seasons. But then at the same time, you don't have all winter, because sometimes it's all winter you're sitting. So you talk about turkey legs, you could have winter legs if you come back in May. So you got to kind of get yourself back in shape depending on what these guys do. And it looks like we got some exciting things to start with. We got a short kick lineup here. We'll see what Calgary or not Calgary. Seeing the red and the stamps on the jerseys. Of course, they sponsor this game, but we'll see what the South decides to do here.
So Ben Nolan is lined up as a kicker. Seen him kick throughout the year. As he gets kicked off here, Notre Dame quarterback. Back to receive it is Garaba. He's going to make a man miss, just get past the 20. Good special teams tackling there for Team South. And the Team North offense gets going at about their 22.
So really interesting lineup, and of course we've called lots of games over the many years now. It's like the special teams play such a big part in some of these games. You can make or break it, and in their short kick lineup that the South showed, the North really didn't make any adjustments to that. So it's going to be interesting to see if they make an adjustment as this game moves on to adjust to that. If not, I definitely as a coach would be going after that. We'll see what the North has here coming out. Looks like they got two tight ends set here to start this one.
Philippek in at quarterback out of Red Deer from the Hunting Hills Lightning. A handoff going nowhere. Maybe a gain of 1 with the Calgary, it did the same thing. The Team South D-line stout on play 1.
Well, great job of containing the edge there. You can see there he's got his hands on him. He's able to fall off. What a great tackle he's made. But again, that's what you want from your edge guys, is to make sure the backs don't get outside. But we'll see what the North responds with here on 2nd and long.
Passing down. Looks like they gave him a gain of just 1. Philippek is going to fake the handoff, goes out to the right, it's caught. I don't think they're going to be at the markers. That's the first reception of the game for Cameron Coyne, who made a difference in the Edmonton City playoffs for the Paul Kane Blues. They will bring out the punt team for Team North.
Well, an early game decision by the coach to not go for it. They're bringing their punt team out. You never know, though. We got lots of excitement. Really, there's nothing to lose for these coaches and players to try some things. So trick plays, special teams, excitement can always happen. So again, third and what looks like about a good yard. We'll see if they end up punting this one away.
Might be closer to 2 yards here. Right now, Riley Easton, defensive back, also from the Hunting Hills Lightning, teammate of Philippek, who we just seen in at quarterback, into punt. A little bit of confusion here for Team North. Not totally uncommon when a bunch of guys who haven't played together playing together. Punt is away. It's a pretty good one. Low one received just outside the 40-yard line. And taking it out wide. There's a ton of space for Tyrell Hoffland. Walking the sideline and pushed out. Where the Team South offense is going to take possession in the red zone.
Well, you can see with so little time spent on special teams, they end up getting the edge. You can see he does a great job of using his athleticism to get to the edge and get down the sideline. So back to my point, what do you do on special teams at 3rd and 1.5? He goes back 51 yards on that initial punt return. And so the South in great field position here inside the 20 for their first opportunity on offense.
Liam Dybert in at quarterback to start this game from the All Saints Legends. It'll be a handoff up the middle to Park. Park getting some good yards through the middle. Found a decent-sized hole, and he's going to pick up about half the first down yardage, I believe. There is a player down for Team South.
When we talked about the timing of this game and injuries that can happen or still maybe lingering from the season. I know when you play long seasons, sometimes those things linger. So it's also a roster that isn't actually really big. And so these guys are playing on special teams. They're playing on offense. They're playing on defense. And so they get a lot of reps in a short amount of time. And so injuries can play a part. Fortunately, weather and the cold, which is outside the dome, doesn't play into it this time. So that's great for the players. They can play without worrying about those conditions, but they still have an opponent to go against. And let's see what the South can do here in great field position early.
Jacob Soldier was the injured player, ran off the field under his own power, looking towards the end zone. Touchdown! Mark Schroeder from the Springbank Phoenix opens up the scoring on a 15-yard pass from Liam Dybert.
When you can see him coming in running a simple slant from the outside, and you can see the linebackers push underneath the slant. The quarterback did a great job of just letting him clear that linebacker with a wide open hole right in the middle. I love the approach the South has had to the offense. Again, simple, doesn't need to get complicated, just some simple plays, some simple routes, and what a great connection early on. And that connection sometimes can be overlooked in games like this because the quarterbacks and receivers aren't aren't typically from the same team. Maybe there's one receiver with the quarterback sometimes, but in this case, it's new personnel working on their chemistry.
See the kicking net now lowered for Ben Nolan, puts it right through, or right to the middle, I guess, in this case.
You're not going to kick it through
the net
anymore.
goes up. No. Wonder if that's a little hard for the refs to see it just kind of bounce off the back there. We'll see if there's any close ones later today.
I'm guessing their eyes, instead of going like directly up, they're really looking at those yellow lines, and they've got to make the call if it's close to the yellow line, obviously if it's in or out. So it's more like a target now as opposed to going through the uprights, or could it go over. But it will be interesting to see. They've got them hoisted up pretty high here to take away any interference with the offense. But again, not maybe totally out of the way if an offense was throwing a deep corner route from a hash or something like that. So interesting scenario. But the South out in front early here on the first drive, and here comes their short kick lineup. I absolutely love excitement on special teams, so we'll see what the South decides to do here.
Ben Nolan to kick off once again. Just 2.5 minutes into the game. Team South already in front by a touchdown off the 12-yard catch from Mark Schroeder. It's Garaba to return again. A little bit more space for him this time. Tight ropes through a crowd, and this time gets beyond the 35. A much better return that time for Garaba and Team North.
He did a good job of fielding this well. You can see here on the first one, he wasn't catching it clean in the air. It ended up bouncing, so it took a little bit more time. And he's got the one guy to make miss. What a great job, and then sneaks through to get the extra few yards there. Way to keep his feet and just accelerate through the hole. We'll see what the better field position this time can do for Team North on offense.
Philippek back in at quarterback. Never know how these teams are going to rotate through quarterbacks in the Senior Bowl. Defensive back was late onto the field. There is a flag down off the snap. They were targeting Cameron Coyne once again. We'll check the flag shortly.
And all these things play into this game a little differently than a typical high school game, whether it's the special teams personnel or personnel on defense, who's playing, right? Because they don't usually have a full second set of defensive players, right? They're not going
Legal
with an
substitution, number 43, red.
We're not going with an entire complement of players on special teams and defense and offense, and so the substitution can play into it as it did there. And on an incomplete pass, still going to go in the way of Team North.
Legal substitution is accepted. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Remember, there's been a little bit of an off season for the refs as well.
Well, for everybody, right? They've got a little bit of a break. Everybody's had some turkey, hopefully some holidays. Some have gone away. But what a great opportunity for these kids to enjoy their Christmas holidays with family and friends, away from school, but actually focus on football before most of these guys are going back to school on Monday. So again, exciting opportunity for these guys to showcase their ability and then wrap up their high school seasons in this Senior Bowl here today.
Bit of a delay here. See everyone kind of looking towards the clock. And there might be some confusion here, maybe on the yardage.
It from the sideline, someone coming in to correct it.
Sorry, my apologies, didn't quite catch
all
that full call. I believe they're waiting. The clock, okay, so we've had a little bit of a clock malfunction from inside, so it does say 9:21, and oh, look at that, we're back at 0-0 on the in-house scoreboard. Too bad, so sad, Team South. They're going to put zeros up on our in-house clock for now. You can see it just across the 55, and refs will keep time for the moment. Hopefully can get that fixed up soon here. Philippek, after a fresh set of downs after the penalty, they're going to set up a screen to the right side. They'll find Garaba again, a gain of 6 on first down.
Yeah, again, trying to get into a rhythm here. Again, a simple wide receiver screen. The two slot backs come out to make some blocks, and you sling it out there to your wide receiver. And again, he's running into traffic, and so you want to teach your receivers to try to come inside of one guy and then get back out to the outside, because the linebackers are in pursuit there to limit that gain. And so again, they'll likely come back to that at some point. A nice simple throw, easy throw to gain some positive yards.
This time it's going to be a handoff to Lucas Westcott. Low center of gravity for that running back, and he's going to get really close to that first down marker, maybe just a yard short.
Well, great job by Westcott. He actually breaks the tackle in the backfield right there. You can see he could have gone for a loss, but again, low center of gravity, solid running, gives his coach another opportunity for a call early in this game at third, and this one looks like it's just over a yard. Looks like the offense is staying on the field, so we'll see if this early gamble will pay off and extend this drive for the North.
Yeah, a bit of a ways to go here for the Team North offense, and there's been another whistle on the field. See, they've reset the clock to 12. Let's get the call right away.
Timeout. North.
So Team North going to take a timeout here and maybe talk this play over. I will say, and there's been some past Senior Bowls that I've done, Rob, where it takes the offenses a little bit of time to get going just because they don't have the timing, they don't have the connections. But both offenses seem to look pretty good so far.
They're looking good, and they're keeping it simple, which I'm happy to see. You know, it's allowing these athletes to make plays. And again, you're bang on, though. It always takes the offense, whether it's actually a bowl game like this or if it's even like training camp. Usually the defense is ahead because they can fly around, be athletic. Even a team that's back together for another year, whether that's at the pros or college or high school, you know, running the same system, they don't have to do all that learning, but they still need to kind of find that rhythm and find that chemistry again. And that is at play all the time in these all-star games. Where is that chemistry going to develop? Who's going to develop it quickly? And again, to see those offenses score on those big plays as we saw the South do on their first drive, we'll see if the North can find a way to do that with different personnel.
Under center, they're going to go to Westcott, and there is nothing up the middle. Meeting him in the backfield was Jordan Southern. Last name is appropriate for the D lineman on Team South, who makes the biggest defensive play of the game.
So you can see just bust through. I think it may have been a blocking assignment that was missed because he really was untouched and had the opportunity to get into the backfield. So that's where, again, you talk about all these nuances of an all-star game like this. That really is a prime example of, hey, just misaccounted for on the defensive line and a huge play in the backfield.
So Team South will take over just into Team North territory. A handoff up the middle. Not going to go too far here. Good for just a couple yards. The goal was a gain of just 2 and set up a 2nd and 8. Team South looking for their 2nd straight touchdown drive. Dybert is going to get flushed out of the pocket, but run to the right. He gets hit before he could get to the yardstick. He's going to be short. We'll see how far. Looks like he's about 2 yards short here, but in plus territory. This is going to bring up a decision for Team South and head coach Scott Ledoux.
Well, how much do you gain punting from this situation is the question they're going to ask. And instead of bringing in a punt unit, they're actually going to bring in a heavy unit is what they call. You can hear them calling it from the bench. So they bring in some extra blockers, likely looking at going for it here at 3rd and again, like you said, a little bit more than a yard. Didn't quite get the down he needed. And so we'll see what they do here with a new quarterback in there and different backs in the backfield with a tight end.
3rd and 2. That's now Ben Nolan under center. Flag on the snap. There is first down yardage there for Tate Larson, the 6'3" running back from the Cochrane Cobras. Good guy to have on short yardage. We'll check the flag.
Wait to get the call here. Looks like it may be going against the North, but get the call here.
Offside. North, 5-yard penalty. That's first down.
So they'll take the yardage, 1 or 2 yards more than they had on the plate, and that'll reset the yardsticks for Team South.
We're getting right back into North territory. The South find themselves after that turnover, big stand on 3rd down, looking to get some more points on the board. Already up 7-0.
See Liam Dybert come back into the game at quarterback with Park and the Strathmore Spartans to his left. Going to hand it off to Park after faking a sweep, and there's tons of room across the 20. Park with space into the end zone, but there is a flag sitting at the 20. As it stands, a 41-yard run for Park, but we'll check the flag.
It came in the area of an illegal block. We'll see
It is a holding as the initial call on Team South. We'll see when that penalty happened.
After yards gained, we have holding, number 17, South. It's a first down, 10-yard penalty.
So penalty did come after yards gained, so it'll be a first down, but they'll just reset the ball to the 40, so they'll technically gain a yard.
They gained a yard and a new set of downs, which is good. It's great communication by the officials after hearing. And that's the other thing, you can hear everything said in the dome. We can hear the coaches asking questions and getting clarity on that. It was great to answer the call, and they got 1st and 10.
From the 40-yard line, still first down. Diver looking to the right on the post and just out of the reach of Gage Parker. They were looking for another big play.
Yeah, I like their approach. Not complicated. They seem to be getting their protection in the backfield. You can see here the quarterback's able to stand in, again, get it out early to that corner route. Again, just a little bit tight there. And what you want to teach your receivers is you want to teach them to get a little bit of an inside release to create more space. The window to throw that can come so tight, and they're on the short side of the field already. And so it's a very skinny corner route that he's got to run, and it's, again, a tight fit just out of bounds there.
Second and a full 10. Dybert, clean pocket, looking over the middle, has a man and just missed him. I think that one was intended for Carson Payne from the All Saints Legends. That should bring out the punting unit.
Well, that could have been the All Saints legend connection there again to his own receiver. He sees him in the seam. Good read. Just missed him there as you could see the halfback falling off into that seam route. Just needs to lead him out in front a little bit more, and he could have gone the distance there again in that cover 3 zone is what you're seeing. And when you run cover 3 zone, you want to make sure you attack the seams, which they did really well there. Just missed on the connection there between the quarterback and receiver from All Saints.
That's Stanley Stone on the punt. Tyrell Hoffland is onside. So watch out for number 80 to his right. It's a high kick. Team North is going to receive it. Could have maybe let that one bounce into the end zone. And they're going to return that not too far, just outside the 5-yard line. Great punt, great special teams once again from Team South.
So again, the rule in high school football is if he catches it in the end zone and gets it out, it automatically comes out to the 20. But that one, he was just outside. Actually had an opportunity to coach Nate last year in the Bears Selects program, and now a great little athlete. And again, trying to find those seams. It's really hard because the time does not get put into special teams a whole lot for these all-star games. We'll see what they can do here deep in their own end.
Philippek still in a quarterback. Handoff on play 1. There's some space here out to the right. Doesn't last very long. That was Angie Meon from the Grand Prairie Phoenix. It'll be 2nd and long.
Well, a little bit of a change of pace in their backfield. So they've got a different back in there. Again, a little bit more of a quick slash back in there, trying to take advantage of a seam and get some space. He almost got there. But again, get him in open field. He's a dangerous, dangerous athlete. We'll see what they can do to try to get some yards here. Again, 2nd and long, likely a passing down.
It's like 2nd and maybe 6 or 7. A little tough to tell from here. It is a passing down. They'll fake the handoff and go to the flats. Ball is out. Team South picks it up and does score, but they're going to rule it incomplete. That process of the catch was never completed. We'll check it here.
This is where you see on the special teams, this last series here, you know, you could have let that bounce into the end zone, give up the single and get great field position. They may be in a situation where they got to give up the safety now anyways. You know, again, that's where these games, again, you don't have time always to talk this through with your returners, and you know, you don't get to cover all the things you do on a regular team where you have weeks and weeks and weeks to prepare. This is a very quick turnaround between making this team, getting a system put in. We'll see what the North decides to do. If they punt it away or just take the single and see if they can flip the field position a little bit here.
Hoffland has already had one return that went to the red zone, and they will just take the safety with Hoffland standing right around midfield. Probably a good choice there for Team North.
It's also a risky little play too. You got to make sure you're in the end zone. Again, he was standing literally like on the goal line, half a yard in. The ball was a little bit low. He had to take a little bit of a step to pick it up. What you don't want is to take the knee and be outside the goal line, because then you're giving them the ball very, very close. So again, this will flip the field a little bit. It looks like the South is opting to take the ball, yes, on the 35, so avoiding a kick situation. They're going to just have their offense here out on the field, which again has been looking really good so far today, moving the ball.
Liam Dybert still in at quarterback with Park to his right. 3 receivers out to the right. It'll be another handoff to Park, and he's not going to get out of the backfield. Big play there for Nathan Bouchard from the Sexsmith Sabres.
Bouchard doing a good job, maybe a little bit smaller than some of the linemen that are trying to block him, but he uses athleticism to get outside and make a play. Great job using his speed, and as a high school athlete, you need to understand how you can take an advantage of the player you're going against. There's so many one-on-one battles going on within any individual play here, and again, what a great job there of sealing the edge.
It's a loss of 2. Sets up a 2nd and 12. And it looks like an offside here, probably on Team South. Looked like a couple receivers were a couple yards off the ball.
Legal procedure, number 64, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down repeated.
It's actually going to get called on the lineman,
Early
Jacob Soldier, who
early
actually
movement.
good to see him on the backfield. That was the player who was down earlier in the game. Wouldn't mind Soldier run blocking for my team. 6'4", 350, takes up a lot of space over the middle. He's a unit out there. Dybert boots to the right, goes to the air, and that one over the head of his receiver, Carson Payne. He was well covered.
Well, after giving up some big plays and a touchdown early, the North has stood tall here and forced a 3 and out. So again, interesting choice to take the ball on the 35. They don't convert a first down. Now they're punting from inside their 30 after the loss on first down. So North defense doing a great job keeping them from moving the ball on this one, getting the back in what likely will be pretty good field position.
Couple North returners out there, Garaba, and then as well Nate Oltmans lined up to his left. They're standing on their own 50. Kind of one of those run punts that you see in high school. High up in the air. It's fielded by Oltman on the Team South 50. No return, but pretty good field position anyways for Team North.
It takes a lot of poise from an athlete to stand in there on a high punt, which isn't a traditional. Again, he takes off, looks to run a little bit, doesn't feel like he's going to get it, buys himself some time. So Nate's standing there, the guy's barreling down on him, coming from the sky. Again, not necessarily a common thing to be catching punts in a dome. So again, great job of just securing it already inside the half of the South. So the North, see if they can get some movement here with their offense.
I was wondering if any of these punts might hit the dome as that play is disrupted in the backfield. That punt would have been about as high as you can get. That was Mitchell Qualley in the backfield forcing the loss. Loss of 5, maybe 6.
Well, it looks like you can see there from the great replay that the defensive line of the South is winning the battle right now in the trenches. Again, when the North has been able to gain positive yards, it's quick passing through the air, which takes away a pass rush. But this defensive line from the South is doing a great job of just beating the one-on-one inside the box.
2nd and really long. Call it 16. Over the middle, it is caught right near the first down marker.
I think he's going to be short, but definitely close enough. And a contested catch at that. You can see here the pocket holds up again. He rolls out a little bit. Throwing back across his body is not what you want to teach a guy, but what a great job of using his hands, squeezing that with tight coverage. Good opportunity here to keep this drive with 3rd and really short. But again, this defensive line continues to cause problems for the North. And so this South defense is really stout here. We're going to see what the North can do to try to convert this 3rd and less than a yard to keep this drive going. Got an extra lineman in the backfield, some tight ends out there.
Pickup of 15 leads to a 3rd and 1. Westcott in the backfield. They're not going to go to him. They went for a sweep. And the Team South D-line has blown it up once again. Couple players got through. Looked like it was Branley Nakambo getting through first.
Well, that's always a tough decision for a back. He's coming lateral behind the line of scrimmage, and you could see on that replay he had a decision to make. Does he cut it up to try to get the yard, or does he bounce it to the edge? If he bounces that one to the edge, he probably goes the distance. It was a really short corner, and he had the opportunity there. But again, he tries to get the yard, couldn't quite get there. We got late substitution happening here again.
Team North just gets to the sideline in time. Should be last play of the quarter. It's caught over the middle and a big hit. After first down yardage, the catch was from Mark Schroeder, and a big hit delivered from Cohen Martin, the defensive back from the Peace Wapiti Academy Titans.
Yeah, and you could see the responsibility of a linebacker in a situation like that is to take away that slant route. That's actually the same route they used, a little bit different route combination, but they just came to the slant. I love the simplicity of the offense that they're trying to execute. They've got outside shade by the corner, and the linebacker just is not pushing into that hole, and it leaves them wide open on a slant. So great gain for the South. Yes, great tackle and great defensive play on the back end of that, but nonetheless, the South gain a first down and are moving the ball again.
Team South back into Team North territory. They'll flip sides for the first play of the second quarter. Team South up 9-0, looking to extend that lead. Handoff, it's a run up the middle. I believe that's the first touch of the game for Holton Miguel. Not much room over the center.
You can see just a missed block assignment once again. Again, this is part of that. I mean, you look at the helmets of the offensive line. Everyone looks different. So you're talking about guys who have never played next to each other, very rarely have done that. So that chemistry piece, we'll see what happens here.
Team North bringing the blitz. Flushes Dybert out to the left. Evades one tackler. Running along the sideline. And there's a bit of a commotion here by the Team South bench. It's hard to hear with all the echoes here. Not sure if that's just cheering or a bit of...
Well, I think it's like excitement. You got a quarterback take off and run, escapes the tackle there. He lowers the boom here on a defensive player. You can see there's the excitement when your quarterback can deliver that blow. That gives that emotional energy to the bench, and it was right in front of their bench, of course, getting some excitement there. So nothing out of the ordinary, but what a great job of just, again, understanding, hey, it's time to set the tone. I'm going to lower my shoulder here a little bit for my quarterback. I got to like that. Now we're third and real short here.
There's actually Ben Nolan in at quarterback now for Team South. Handoff, another run up the middle. They're going to have first down yardage. Tate Larson diving forward.
There's just some simple downhill running right off the edge of the tackle there. Good job of just exposing it and understanding as a back, what do we need here? It's 3rd and 1. Make sure I get the yard. You saw great ball security on that. He had it all covered up, so no chance of a turnover there. Again, new fresh set of downs for Team South as they look for more points.
Nolan conducting the offense. Running back does sit down on his right, fakes the handoff and takes it up the middle. Nolan gets contacted pretty quick, but able to get a good push and fall forward with a bit of pushing and shoving after.
That was Drodson on the tackle. Great linebacker from Belrose in there to make the stop after the gain of, we got 6 yards there. We'll see if the North need another stop here. Again, 9-0 for the South early in this one. We'll see if the North can get a stop and give themselves an opportunity to get some points.
Ball just outside the 30. Another handoff, run up the middle, and they've met at the line of scrimmage. Isaiah Anderson Usman with the tackle.
On a big man inside the interior there, doing a great job of just controlling the pile, right? You talk about who's going to win the battle in the trenches. In that case, he did a good job of owning the pile in there, making a good job. You can see them right in the center, shedding the block, being there ready. So again, not allowing yourself to get blocked. What a great job there. Make a good stop.
So they'll put it as a gain of maybe 1 here. It's going to get it real close to first down yardage again. It's a 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2. Big back in the backfield, has some space down the left side, and that is more than enough for another first down for Tate Larson and Team South. think Larson's role in this offense has become pretty clear today.
Yeah. He's a big body in there, and he does a great job there. You can see 6'3", 230. It's like fullback size or running back size, but what a great job of converting. And really, you talk about this game, there's been a few situations where 3rd and shorts, the North have not been able to convert, or trying 2 different ways to attack that, and the South has. Really, that could be one of the differences in the game so far here.
Quick flip out to Gage Parker, some room down the left side, crosses the 15 and hit out of bounds. Good gain though on first down for the Team South offense.
Yeah, and the Six are on the move. The South is on the move once again, threatening, lining the ball up at the 12-yard line. So yes, an opportunity to still get another first down if they need to before the goal line, but they are looking at more points here.
Team South trying to take a 15-point lead and the extra point pending. This time they'll fake a sweep and go to the handoff. Down the left side, it's Holton Miguel getting a good push from the O-line. Able to get another good pickup on first down.
And you see different backs in the game, different guys getting touches, and again, it's a good job. It's part of the responsibility of the coaches in a game like this, a North-South All-Star game, is you really want to get everybody the ball because they all earned a spot on this team as an All-Star. As a great player in high school, they've earned the spot on the team, and so, but the nice thing is you always got fresh legs. It's like typically on a high school team, you won't have the depth to go too deep into your roster. On these teams, of course, there's talent everywhere, and so you have the opportunity to do that.
Ball inside the 10. See where they go this time. Schroeder already with a touchdown. Nolan booting right. Throws to the corner. It is caught. Another touchdown for Team South. It's Carson Payne.
So great adjustment by the receivers. You'll be able to see in the replay here his initial read is not there. Again, he kind of looks to his left, takes off to the right, but the receivers, which you don't see in that view there, both of them are coming across the field to the left, to the inside, and then as the quarterback rolls out, we call it the scramble rules from a receiving corps standpoint, where again, once he starts to roll out, you got one guy deep across the back of the end zone, one guy shallow, and he found him open for the easy touchdown after escaping the pocket. Got to lower the uprights again.
It's one of those little quirks that you wouldn't have in a normal football game.
Well, one of those questions I had even coming into this is what are they going to do for uprights? Because they typically don't have them in dome scenarios because you don't typically play full games inside. So new opportunity there with the uprights hanging from the top of the dome.
That's the view. And ton of movement on the O-line there. Or D-line, don't know. Going to be lots of flags either way.
Well, you can see a little bit of movement in the uprights. You're kind of looking at a moving target for the kickers here. There's just a little bit of a sway as it's a net hanging and a little bit of air movement in here in the dome. Not a lot, not windy by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely you can see from that end cut there's a little bit of movement in those uprights. So we'll see if the if the officials give him a little bit of leeway here. We're going to get a nice shot at our replay here as he rolls out, buys himself some time. What a great job of getting the ball released. You can see
Legal
wide
procedure.
open.
Offensive line, North has chosen the 5-yard penalty. Convert will be from the 10.
So they're going to push Ben Nolan back a little bit further. It'll be a 17-yard convert attempt rather than the regular 12. Makes it a little tougher. Tell you what, you got a chance to rack up a lot of points if you're playing quarterback and kicking. That's what Ben Nolan's doing today. There's that little bit of sway in the uprights. Ball is up and is good. Just inside enough, but it was easy to tell.
And up they go. Here we go. The South go up in points. The uprights get taken to the top. And the North need to find a spark to get some things going. So they are behind here early in this one, 15-0. The North really need to get a spark. Again, lots of athletes that can make that spark, but again, it takes 12 men on the field executing well. We've seen the South do that a few times. One touchdown, of course, was called back due to a penalty. But again, in the end, the South are out in front early in control of this one. We'll see if the North come back and respond to this, the drive we just saw by the South.
Score now 16-0 0 for Team South. And Ben Nolan getting ready to kick off. I do wonder today with this unique kickoff formation if they are going to look to the onside kick at some point.
Man. I would do it every time.
They have numbers.
Especially with the North struggling to move the ball on offense. You know, give yourself an opportunity to get this one. There
This
it
time
is.
they will go onside.
There's the pop.
There's numbers for Team
it's
South,
out.
and they're going to get it. It was touched out of bounds by Hunter Corbin. It's going to be Team South ball again.
Well, and you knew at some point they need to come to it, and sure enough, there it is. What a great kick, and all you have to do is touch it out, and you can see there he just knocks it out with his hand. Ball goes to the South. And again, really surprised the North has not made an adjustment on special teams to at least adjust and line up. You don't have to overload too much, but get a few more bodies out there. You're not really giving the guy a chance when he's the only one out there with 3 or 4 guys doing. And what a great execution on the short kick. It is not easy to kick a ball that after 2 hops goes up in the air. That was absolutely perfect executed. And again, with speed going down the edge, the guy was in motion. He got his speed, got to the edge, simply tapped it out of bounds. South has got control of this one.
And a smart play by Hunter Corbin, by the way. Not every athlete is going to realize that they can just touch it like that. Hunter Corbin obviously well acclimated to the Canadian game. Team South back in Team North territory. A run up the middle, not much there.
But already in North territory, so. And the D linemen on both sides are standing tall. Again, they talk about that chemistry piece. How long does it take for an offensive line to come together? And you know, in different leagues and different levels, you talk about it takes a lot of time and a lot of work. And you talk high school athletes here try to do the same thing in a weekend's work here at the Senior Bowl.
We'll go to the air. Nolan scanning the field, looks over the middle, and intercepted. And Team North is going to get a good return. That was Cohen Martin. Had a big hit earlier, now a pick. And he's running over everybody on the sideline. Big play for Team North.
Well, and again, the hit was close to the sideline, and with everything a little bit tighter here in the zone, in the dome here, you can see there just off his fingertips, a little bit behind him. Great job of staying focused. Not an easy ball to catch when it comes off a tip like that. Great job getting downfield. That was about a step out of bounds, but it was pretty close there. So that could be the spark the North need. Now their offense need that same energy and same spark. See if they can get things on the move here.
No, they'll snap it from their 46. That's about where Team South started their drive. Team North needed something. There's flags on the snap. Could be a free play here. They are able to find a receiver. Looks like Garaba again, and we'll check the flag shortly.
I think the receivers were offside on this one. On short side of the long side of the field, you can see. Yeah, the snap count, a little different. New quarterback changes things up. So unfortunately, it's going to go as a negative play going against the North.
Offside indication against the North.
Offside. Number 22, 5-yard penalty, first down repeated.
So just a 5-yard penalty off the initial spot, but a loss of over 10 yards after the completion.
I think that was 82, not 22. That was 82, the receiver. 22 is a D lineman. He's not playing on the offense right now. So we'll see you at 1st and 15. What can they do?
So Daniel Rutten is in at quarterback from Emmy Lazert. Good throw on his second attempt, really, but first official. A pickup of about 9 to Cameron Coyne.
Yeah, good job of getting first down production on a first and really long. That makes it much more manageable here on second down. And in talking with the coaches of the North, this quarterback a little bit different, maybe not as mobile, doesn't like to run as much, although he's solid, got a strong arm, it's got a quick release. So looking at the quick routes and getting the ball out in a hurry to take away the D lineman.
6'1", 215, Rutten stands. Another look to Coyne, speedy receiver from Paul Kane. He's going to get over midfield. Right at the yardstick. They have him spotted right in front of us, about 5 yards away. Right there.
You got that perfect line, Connor, right in front of you. You're standing right above the yardstick, right above the official. We'll see. I think they may have got it. I think they're going to give him a measurement, but I think based on our eye shot here, there's not many opportunities we get to see right down the line. This is one I think they're going to be really close. I think they may be short based on where they put that ball down.
Bodie Vandekratz from the Cochrane Cobras was down in a squat with his binoculars, and by binoculars I mean hands, trying to eye it for himself. Always love the character that you see in a high school game, especially when these guys are just out here having fun like today. So this one's going to be real tight here, and I'll get out the credit card. They are about a millimeter short. But ref had to go down to a knee, get a look from pretty much ground level. Now Team North needs yards, and they've struggled in these short yardage scenarios so far. They only need an inch, but they need to move forward.
They need an inch, but it feels like a mile for them. They have not been able to convert, as you had mentioned. They've come up the middle and just been absolutely stymied in the middle. They came with a sweep, came up short on that one too. We'll see if this, the third time, is the charm, but they're going to need about, like you said, the length of the football. Got to get across the 54.
Just the tip of that 54. It's maybe the size of a broken potato chip. That's what we'll go with. Just need to move it forward about an inch. Ball's actually hovering over top of it right now. They will go quarterback sneak. Boy, they didn't need much, and a good push after.
Yeah.
They might have not had it off the first try, but a good push from behind, a little bit of a tush push, if you will.
Yeah.
Should have the Team North into first down yardage.
It definitely took the second effort right there. Great job of just stymieing him, but again, this little second effort here, got a couple extra feet there, and that gave him enough. But what a great stand by the South. Didn't quite able to finish that one, but again, bigger quarterback in behind your O-line. Finally, the North are able to convert on third and really short and keep this drive alive. I'm excited. A little bit of energy, you get the interception, you get the ball back. Some good things are happening for the North. They definitely need something going their way to get back into this one.
Even after the push, they only got the first down by less than a football, I would say. They'll snap it from the 54. They'll fake the handoff to Westcott. Looking deep, a receiver open, and they hit him in stride. Taken out at the 10. Garaba again.
I love the action in the backfield, holding guys a little bit of tight, just giving them some time to get downfield. There's the play action. Again, sets his feet, strong arm, because he really didn't have a chance to get his feet set, but just slid out there. And again, you got that strong arm. He was able to get it to a perfect spot. What a great job keeping his focus on the reception there on the back end of that, getting the North the energy and the plays and yards that they need.
They've spotted it at the 12. They can get a first down without scoring. Look to the right for Rutten. To the corner and just out of reach. They were targeting Cameron Coyne. It's been one of their favorite targets so far.
He just missed Coyne again. He was wide open on the corner route, and he couldn't get his hips around to get the ball to him. You can see there, running from the spot. He's wide open in the corner of the end zone, and again, the DB's playing chase mode, but again, too much out to the sideline. You could see it wasn't a tight spiral like he's been thrown. Just wasn't able to get it to the right spot, but opportunity missed by Team North to get the major there. Looking at second down here, obviously, looking to score here on this drive. Almost an opportunity to say, hey, are we going for 3 downs here? We're down on this one, let's go.
They'll fake the handoff, quick look to the left, and it sails over the head of Garaba. Had a bit of space there as he was walking the goal line. And decision time now for Team North.
I don't see a lot of action on the bench, so I'm sure they're waiting for the penalty. No penalty.
And I think Team North here.
Somebody wants to get some extra steps in. He's running all the way to the far bench to see what's going on.
Oh, we got the 3-minute warning. There we go.
In a dome situation, you can probably yell it from the huddle and they can still hear it on the bench. You can hear everything. So we talk loud enough and be able to talk to the coaches on the far side of the field.
So they will line up to go for it on 2nd and 10 from the 12-yard line. Team North in need of points. Feels like a pivotal play here. And the Team South has called a timeout.
We have a timeout, South.
Sure, they just wanted to see what kind of package Team North was going to line up in, and Rob just looking to maybe match the personnel here.
Well, if you know as a coach you're going for it on 3rd down, you take something different on 2nd down. They took their shot, they had it, he was open, but Rutten seems to be a better passer from the pocket. When his feet are stable, he's in the pocket. He's delivering it on time. Nice tight spirals, finding his receivers in the holes in the zone. We'll see if they keep him in the pocket this time, let him throw out of the pocket. The disadvantage of throwing out of the pocket is sometimes your D linemen are going to get a rush and put some pressure on you. So again, with it being 3rd and 10, you know, 3rd and medium's a lot different. You can run a hitch route at 7 yards, likely get the first down. 3rd and 10, you got to hold on to it a little bit longer to allow your receivers to get to the space they need to get to gain the first down yardage. Again, you can take a shot at the end zone. They can get a first down just outside the goal line as they're lined up on the 12 here. But again, we'll see what they do with regards to protection, and do they keep him in the pocket? Do they slide him? Because the one time he had to slide, he kind of got his hips and strong-armed it down the sideline. Nice throw for the big gain. We'll see what they can do here to convert this 3rd and 10.
Big play here, under 3 minutes. Team North looking to break the goose egg. It's going to be a run play, and a minute in the backfield. Team South comes up with another stop. It was Matthew Schroeder.
Well, a little bit of play action there. Again, good ball fake, but again, too much pressure, untouched coming up the middle. Again, he's able to haul him down, just not able to get the space. I wonder if they were actually looking at getting him just to run free to the edge. They brought the receivers across from the left side into the middle of the field, but again, too much pressure, too much speed from the South defense just to track him down before he's able to get out there. And again, of the two quarterbacks, probably the less of the mobile ones. Again, a solid quarterback for sure can definitely run the ball, but maybe not quite as quick. And again, those blockers on the inside, the linemen need to hold up and force them to rush all the way from the outside edge. But we'll see. Defense is on. South is looking to move.
Tell you what, good tackle from Schroeder there. Otherwise, I think Team North has a first down as there's a sack for Team North.
Well, and they missed a little bit of a face mask call. We're going to catch that on the replay. You can see how as he rolls out, he's going to feel the pressure. He slides through right there. He gets a little bit of the face mask, lets it go early enough, and ends up making the tackle. So again, missed that one, but again, not too much damage. Again, good job of getting his hands off of that. It's so hard as a football player, especially when you're in pursuit of a ball carrier or a quarterback. When you go to grab something, you go to grab something. And if it happens to be their face mask, it's not your intent, but it's really hard to have the wherewithal to let go and then continue. And he did a great job of doing that and forcing the loss.
Anderson Usman was the one to come up with the sack. Team South just going to run it here on 2nd and long, looking to get their backs off the goal line and set up their punter a little better. It'll be a 2nd and long for the team in red. Haven't set the punt unit on yet, but now they're finally coming off the sidelines.
We'll see. They had I think they had to make a substitution because the helmet came off one of the DBs. So he had to go off, as the rule is in football. And so we'll see. They are lining up. Punt situation. Clock rolling down. 2:07 and counting.
Wonder if Team South is going to take a safety here rather than give Team North great field position. Now, they will run it around for a while, so Team North needs to get some pressure on here as Team South is just looking to tick some time off the clock. That was Stanley Stone taking the knee in the end zone. Punter for Team South. Made a good play with it, just kind of calmly waited and waited. Forced Team North to come to him.
Well, we got, in the Canadian game, we got a big end zone to run around in all-star games, you don't always take a designated punter. Often in these high school teams, some of your best athletes are kickers anyways, and so again, good athletes back there running around. We saw that in one of the NFL games yesterday. Again, trying to run the clock out. Didn't quite run it all out, left a second, but lots of space to run around to burn some time. And we'll see what the North can do here with a minute 55. Again, big field position change by giving those points up. If the North can take advantage, I like the fact that on the last drive they went vertical and challenged the secondary here downfield. We'll see if they decide to do that or play it a little more conservative, get one first down, then take a shot, because you also don't want to give the ball back to the South really quickly with too much time.
So the Team North defense does break the goose egg. It's now 16-2. Each team has a safety pass over the middle. It was intended for Elliott Wise, out of his reach. 2nd and 10.
Well, again, just a few misses. He got a strong arm. You can see there he gets his feet thrown and just just dies a little bit there. He's got to get that, put that on him because he had the running room. He had the space for at least the first down, possibly more if he can make someone miss an open field. And so again, just trying to dial it in. It seems like it's that touch pass in the middle that he struggled with. When he's thrown it hard and on a line to those wide receivers, he's doing a great job. Let's see if he can get things on the move here.
Team North still needs a full 10. They'll fake the handoff. Tons of pressure. And there was really just no chance there for Rutten to get a clean throwaway. Team North is going to have to punt this one away.
You talk about 2 incomplete passes, the clock stops. I like the play call, but again, he just doesn't get the edge. You can see he's got some receivers open. Does a great job of just not taking a loss on that and having the ball get close to the receiver. So again, ball's out. Clock is stopped because it's incomplete. Now the South is going to get their opportunity, and again, only a few seconds came off the clock with those 2 incomplete passes. So that's the double-edged sword. You want to see if you can get some points late, get a drive going, but with incomplete passes, of course, the chances you're giving it back. And so sure enough, line up in a punt formation here, looking at punting it back to the South.
And Team North took the ball with 1:55 on the clock. That drive lasted 7 seconds. That one was nearly blocked. Good punt there just to get it to the sidelines, and it'll take a Team North bounce out near the 41.
Well, keeping it out of the hands of the dynamic returners on the South team is also a really good idea. That's a long ways to kick to the wide side of the field away from the returner, but great job. Again, 1:41 on the clock. The South just outside their 40-yard line. Definitely coming out looking for more points here before the half.
Still enough time on the clock, though. I mean, we just seen a drive last 7 seconds. We're still in that territory where in the Canadian game, you could see 2, 3, 4 drives still. We've seen crazier things.
Well, I'm sure they're coming out looking for more, so we'll see if they go to the run or they go to the air.
Ben Nolan, long pass over the middle. They were looking for Mark Schroeder, who scored a touchdown earlier, and it ended up a little too far for him.
So just another miss there. You can see wide open on the slant. You can see him coming in. 7 yards, break it to the inside. Just missed him there. You can see that time the linebacker did a great job of pushing underneath that, so it wasn't a quick throw, an easy throw. He had to kind of drop it in there. So that forced the trajectory of the ball, and again, in this case, overthrew him on the slant, almost into the hands of the South. So lots can happen. Only another 3 seconds off the clock there.
So 2nd and 10. Team North gets a stop. They might get the ball back again. Nolan, quick look out to the right, has a receiver. Ball is out and recovered by Team North. Whistle has been blown. They're going to call it incomplete. There was a play just like that earlier on the other side. This one was a lot closer to a catch. We'll check the replay. It was Carson Payne. See a couple feet down. Oh, it's kind of right on that borderline of does he have control of the ball.
That is definitely one you'd probably have to go to the booth for a booth review in the NFL or the CFL to watch that one, because again, kind of gets both feet down. Does he make a football move?
And is the ball still moving in his hands?
Yeah, it looks like it was caught clean, so definitely could have been a turnover, which would have been a huge play, but again, a stop nonetheless. And here comes the run punt again.
Fielded by Garaba. Ball's on the ground. Garaba gets hit, but Team North gets back on top of it. So the difference, after not getting the fumble there, ends up about 20, 25 yards. But Team North going to take over with 1:22 on the clock.
He never really gets a handle of this and then kind of gets drilled, a real vulnerable position. You can see there he's trying to pick it up. Gets run into there, but what a great job of covering that up, that fumble up, because that could be huge for the South if they would have jumped on that one. But here we go. You talked about 5. We'll count how many. Inside of 2 minutes, we've had 2 drives so far, 2 and outs. We'll see what the North can do here with their second opportunity inside the 2 minutes.
Handoff, right side, looking for some space off the edge. Haven't seen much of Ethan Bilo so far, but it's some good first down yardage there. About 5 yards.
A little bit more of a conservative approach by the North in this case. Be willing to let that clock run a little bit.
I kind of wanted to see how many possessions we could get in.
Well, hey, I think they're going to the air here. 2nd and 7, they go to the air. See what we can do.
Rutten Scans over the middle, pressure again, steps around it, puts a ball up into one-on-one, and this is going to be a flag. Now, it looked to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Rob, but it looked like the receiver, Elliot Wise, might get flagged here for an offensive pass interference as he was holding Wyatt Dannard.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the call for sure. He was blocking downfield, so it looked like the receivers on the left side of the formation were going out to block. So it was either going to be a quick pass to the backside or an RPO, a run pass option is what they would call it. It's a run pass, so you can hand the ball off on the run or you can pull it and throw the ball. But usually on a run pass option, half the guys are running routes to get the ball out quickly. The other half can be in a blocking situation. Sometimes they all run routes. But in this case, it looked like the guys on the short side of the field were running routes. The guys on the wide side on the field were actually in a blocking mode, so they were looking at blocking their guys downfield. And again, when you go to block, you're not looking behind you, you're not checking what's happening. The ball gets pulled, it's thrown in the air, so that's what happened there. So we'll get the official call here in a second.
Pass interference on the North. That penalty is declined. Third down.
Could have set him back another 10 yards, but Team South looking to just stop the clock, get the ball back. There's just under 57 seconds on the clock. Enough time for Team South, especially with a dangerous return game.
Which is now the fourth drive inside of the 2 minutes, so.
Snap is a bit high on the punt, and it's off the foot and away. Takes a side bounce. Going to lay on the ground for a second and eventually picked up by Team South. They'll pick up some yards on the sideline, and that ends up going as about a 15-yard return for Terrell Hoffland. Didn't look like there was any space down there, but whatever there was, Hoffland found. They'll get the ball in Team North territory.
You can see here some pressure coming. Again, a good job of getting the ball off. Didn't quite get it out of bounds this time. And of course, you can see there it kind of bounces and rolls around. And again, a number of guys. But yeah, it kind of starts to come wide and finds himself a very, very tight seam to gain 5, 6, 7 yards. Maybe even, probably 10, 12 yards there on the return after he picked it up. So great job of making something out of nothing. And of course, fourth drive inside of 2 minutes, 42 seconds left. That's lots of time. See what the South decides to do.
Only thing that play did for Team North was it did take 15 seconds off the clock, but Team South now in Team North territory. Quick pitch to the receiver. Hoffland has some room down the right side. Pickup of 7-8 on first down. Sets up Team South well. Now there's some flags well after the whistle here.
There's a little bit of extracurricular going on. We'll see what happens. I don't know if something was said. But again, getting to the edge, he does a good job and just following his blocks. Good finish there.
Number 24, the North, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So they called it an unnecessary roughness. And I believe that one on Samuel O'Connell. So that's going to add 15 yards to the end of the play.
So that only helping the South continue this drive. 36 seconds left. Seems like a lifetime since we started counting series. This is number 4. That's what the South can do with what time they have left. Already up 16-2.
Nolan has some room out left, looking to the end zone, but it's intercepted. Second interception of the game for Team North. This time it's Thomas Bagutski.
And here comes Team North. Offense, series number 5, as you called it, Connor. 5 series inside of 2 minutes. This is number 5th right here. We'll see what they decide to do with the last 24 seconds.
Big play there for Bagutski, but
I'd be really tempted to take a shot here. Like, to be honest with you, down 16-2, not really finding much. You know, maybe take one quick play, but again, go over the top. They managed to get one over the top. They've got a little bit of a size mismatch with this secondary, but they're just not able to expose them. So again, maybe an opportunity here to take a shot. You definitely don't want to sit on this. I'm going to get this one out of your end zone, but a quick pass here to get themselves a little bit of space.
Team North would need 106 yards. That first run play is going to go nowhere. So you think maybe you run, get the clock going, and then you take your shot with zeros on the clock possibly here?
Yeah, I think so. You can punt this one away. You can run around a little bit and burn a few seconds off. But personally, I would be a little bit more aggressive than not here in a situation like this. You got a quarterback with a strong arm. He's going to be able to get it out to a receiver. And again, worst case scenario, you know, it's 30, 40-yard game, but I definitely, it looks like that clock's going to run right down. They're letting that happen.
Team North might have a timeout in their pocket here as well that they might take here at 1. And yeah, Team North got it in with half a second on the clock as coaches were jumping onto the field.
That was Brad just waiting for that. Brad Lonhart, the head coach and offensive coordinator of the North team. Coach out at Bev Facey as well. Played a number of years in the CJFL, playing for the Edmonton Huskies. Had a successful career as a quarterback. And it's great to see him making the transition after his playing days into the coaching. And he's found himself as the head coach of Team North, but he's also found himself in a little bit of a hole here, down 16-2. And so this will challenge the defensive secondary of the South. Again, obviously having a plan, could have ran the clock out and kneeled that one out, but obviously has a plan. We'll see what they do. We'll see how safe the South can be in their secondary. Obviously you're going to see a deep safety, probably like a cover 4, cover 3 for sure. I can't imagine they'd be too tight to the line of scrimmage and then rally to this tackle. So imagine you'll get a good rush from your front 3 or 4. Looks like they've got 3. Got an extra DB in there to make sure to do some coverage, and they end up taking a knee in the end. I'm going to have a chat with Brad after this one to see what his thought process of calling that timeout. And maybe he was waiting. If he saw a certain lineup, sometimes that's what you do as a coach. If you see a certain defense, you're going to run a play. If not, just let that one run. But Brad didn't want to let that one run out. He just was hoping to have a conversation there before that happened. So the end is here for the first half. The South is up 16-2.
So Team North, they were able to get their offense going a little bit as the first half went along. They ended up marching all the way down to the 12-yard line, but just the 2 points on the board from the safety. What can Team North look to do in the second half to get some more points up and try to start this comeback on Team South?
Well, I think the quick passing game is where they found a little bit more success. They struggled in the run game to get that going, and so that's something that they will want to establish a run. But to be honest with you, the defensive line of the South has been really, really strong in this one. So I'm not sure if that's something they're going to be able to find. And with the time they have to put in an offensive line and get everything cohesive with the linemen, they may just have to go back to that quick passing game. And again, I like the quick passing game. It's like short runs, right? You get 5-6 yards and you take a shot deep. They got one deep. So I'd like to see the North come out with a quick passing game and see if they can get some movement going. Again, they're going to have to mix in some run. You can't become one-dimensional. You're not too far out of this one. They're going to need to get some points early in this second half to feel like they're in this one. But they definitely will need to get their offense moving. Their defense has had moments where they've been able to stand tall, which is good to see, but the South is in control so far.
We are going to take a quick break for halftime. Team North up 16-2 in the 2024 Senior Bowl from Sholdis Athletic Park. Shouldice Athletic Park. Team South took an early lead on Team North, a 16-2 advantage for the Team South of Red Deer. Connor Toffin on this IC Live Procast, joined by Rob Herod, my color commentator today. We got 24 minutes on the clock in this game. Team North down by 14, and they'll be opening up the second half, kicking off to Team South. Rob, what have we seen so far in this game?
Well, the South definitely in control, able to put some first downs together. Again, the North hit on a couple big plays, flipped the field a few times with some turnovers, but really just unable to capitalize on those opportunities. Well, the big play obviously eventually turned into the safety that the South gave up. We obviously saw the late drives back and forth in the last 2 minutes, but here comes the North with their kickoff team again. South getting the ball first, assuming they get possession on this one, which is never a safe assumption in a game like this. But the North definitely need to get some things going. We talked about a quick passing game, the defense finding their groove a little bit to slow down the South, but the South primed here, ready to look for some more points.
Riley Easton to kick it off. They will kick it deep. It's a good kick from Easton. It's going to bounce towards the end zone, and it's fielded inside of the 5 by Hoffland, where he's taken down just inside the 20. And Hoffland a little slow to get up after. This would be a pretty big loss here for Team South. Hoffland's been a big part of the special teams and the offense. The receiver from the George McDougall Mustangs looked like he tried to get up and just kind of went back down. We'll hope that Hoffland is all right. So we'll take a little bit of a break here so they can take a look at Hoffland.
While we take the break, I'll cover a few stats that we got from the first half. Our statisticians working hard up here on the lift. We got, just to give you an idea, Team North generated 3 first downs, all in the first and then none in the second. In the first half, 3 first downs in the first half, and Team South 9. So again, big difference. You can tell the drives going one way or the other. Total passing yards for the North is 85. Again, a lot of it came on that big chunk play, and for the South, 45 through the air, but they've got 71 on the ground, the South do, and the rushing attack of the North is non-existent with only 2 yards. You got team losses, 13 for the North, 19 for the South. Net offense, 74 for the North and 97 for the South. And so you talked about the opportunity of offenses to kind of get their chemistry and their groove, and neither of them have found their groove. When you're talking about net offenses in an all-star game, it really is indicative of the defense being ahead of the offense and just the chemistry. And then, the South came out and hit a couple quick slant routes, and then again the North adjusted a little bit to take some of those away, and some errant throws ended up hitting the turf. And so you really see the difference there. And 100 yards in a half for a high school game is not a lot, but that is what sometimes we'll see in a game like this, where you've got studs all over the place. And there, it's good to see him up and making his way off, not looking very good, not moving that leg very much. So we wish him the best, of course, and hopefully they can take care of him on the sideline. Yeah, big loss for the South, a very dynamic athlete and football player that we've seen show flashes of that here today. So wishing him the best as he stays off, or heads off there to the bench side.
Obviously, the last thing you want to see in a bowl or all-star type of game is a player go down. So Hoffland out for the moment. Like you said, Rob, we'll hope that he's all right. It's a bowl game, but it is still football, right? It's still a contact sport, and the most contact really out of any sport.
Yeah, and injuries continue to happen in a physical game. And, for some of these guys, this is their last game as a high school player. And for some, it may be their last official football game ever, because many of these players may not move on to the junior ranks or the university ranks. Now, some, of course, will. The opportunity here to showcase their abilities to the junior coaches and university coaches in the house today.
So Team South, not great field position here inside of their own 20. A quick run to the left. Park makes a man miss. Reverses field. Now he's running to the right. And he's going to have a first down. Good run there from Park, reversing field. Ran about 50 yards to pick up about 15.
You can see the counter here in open space. Just couldn't make the tackle. Does a great job of keeping his eyes downfield, finding the space. Good first down play here for the South.
Put the ball down to the 31. So good for a gain of 12-13 there from Park. He's been the primary running back today. He'll take another handoff up the middle, shed a tackle for a moment, able to fall forward for a gain of a couple.
Once again, the defensive lineman getting to the backfield. You can see here on the replay, linebacker stepping up into the hole, but good job of keeping his feet going. What could have been a loss of yards ends up being a short gain, which, although you don't think, does it make a big difference? Well, 2nd and 9 versus 2nd and 12 does make a big difference with regards to the plays you can call, and of course, the opportunity for maybe converting a 3rd and short, but definitely gonna wager on going to the air here with 5 receivers out there.
Nolan looking to the right, finds Coyne just beyond the 40-yard line. This one's going to be real close to another first down. It's actually crazy how many plays have been right around the sticks today.
You get a good view of this short package here by both teams. Again, just running that, coming back for, but great job of tackling and not letting, like he falls forward the other direction, it's guaranteed a first down, but because of the sure tackle there at the end of that reception, forcing that 3rd and short. Now it's really short, looking based on the sticks here, looking like about a football length is all they need to get, and the South has definitely won this battle on 3rd and short against the North front 7. A little bit bigger, looks like, and they're going under center.
South needs to get it to the 42. Good push up the middle, and I think the Team South has more than enough for a first down. They do.
Everybody's pushing and pulling in that same direction, trying to move the pack there. So great job there by the South to convert that 3rd and keep this drive going. Again, getting a little bit of breathing room.
Tell you what, if Maverick Holman doesn't make that tackle, that's a lot of green space in front of Nolan. I mean, obviously he's got his shoulders low to the ground and might not be able to get up into a sprint, but you never know. It'll be another handoff. This time to the big back Tate Larson, but didn't have much room. It looks like that was Isaiah Anderson-Usman again on the tackle, who has made a big impact on this game.
On a good edge presence there, again, understanding, got pressure up the middle. That front 7, that defense continues to work hard. Again, they got caught through the air, the North did earlier in this game, but that front 7 is doing a pretty good job standing tall to this real stout, big O-line the South has on the field right now.
Nolan through all of his checks, some pressure, and he's taken down. It's Usman Anderson once again. Also in the backfield was Samuel O'Connell from the Harry Ainley Titans.
So again, you got the bubble screen. He opts to go away from the bubble screen, which was an option, or the wide receiver screen down here to the short side, or the bottom of the screen there. Again, not liking what he sees, pulls it down, but the pressure gets to him, forcing another punting situation for the South. So again, we talked about what needs to happen for the North to get themselves back in this one, and a defensive stop on the first drive was part of it. They did give up a couple first downs, but again, forcing a punt, looking to get this back in decent field position. We'll see if there's any adjustments on the North for this run punt situation that we've seen a few times. Typically they run to the side they kick on, so again, right-footed kicker be running to the right, but we'll see what they decide to do here if they punt this one away, and we'll see if the North has made some adjustments off that edge.
Once again, Team South does have a player on side. It's Pete Ogbo, number 12 there just to the right. There's a flag on the play, likely procedure here.
Time count on South, 5-yard penalty, 3rd repeated.
They were down a guy, so again, once again, this personnel thing is always a challenge, and that's a big job of a head coach and your coordinators to understand who's going in, who's going out, and often your position coaches will step in and help with that because there's so much and there's less consistency because they haven't had the practice run. This is it. It's a one-shot deal for these players and coaches, and so they needed to get that extra guy on the field and make sure they secure this punt.
Another run punt for Stanley Stone. Ball high up into the air, received at the 35 by Garaba. Went down in the first half with a bit of an injury. Good to see him back on the field. Crosses the 45. Pretty decent field position here to start for Team North.
Again, just that gap you can see there, it forces him. It does a good job of running, and he kicks it to the opposite. This can be dangerous, though, because as everyone's going to the right, you can see there's not a lot of cover guys out there. Does a good job of exposing, getting a few yards on his return, but critical piece that shows the talented kick returner is his ability to catch the ball in the air. He did just that.
Looks like Daniel Rutten, the big quarterback from ME, going to stay in the game. A pitch, and that one's going to go nowhere. The Team South D-line found its way to the backfield once again. Mitchell Qualley from the Chinook Coyotes, standing at 6'3", 260, and he can move.
Well, and you can see the toss was behind the running back, and that, I mean, he is a fast running back, and he will outrun that D lineman all the time, but when the ball is thrown behind him, he's got to stop his feet. The D lineman did an athletic play there to get to the edge and actually run him down. They're going to have to go to the air here.
Quick look to the right, going into the air. One-on-one, and it's cut. There was just a little bit of space there for Cameron Coyne. He's probably been Team North's best receiver today, and he brings in another big one, a big gain.
Well, and Hudson Halden coming over from the free safety spot to try to make a play on that. Again, a well-thrown ball. He couldn't locate the ball. He had enough time probably to locate it, just didn't know of the arrival time. And this is, we talked about that, is are they going to threaten them deep, taking a shot, giving the receivers a chance to make a play? They did just that on the play, and I think he came out of the halfback position playing cut coverage. He was in that deep zone but couldn't get over there in time to locate that ball.
26-yard gain. Quick look out to the left. It's a screen. And there's some big yards here for Dustin Campbell from the Sturgeon Spirits.
And I think there's a flag come from the side, likely on one of the receivers blocking, so this may be coming back. We'll see if we can catch it here. Again, nice swing pass, good timing, good position of the ball.
4 yards gained, illegal block, number 2, green, 10-yard penalty. First down repeated.
We did get a bit of a look on the replay there. You did see that block on Carson LQ, just a little push in the back.
Yeah, it was a little push in the back.
But enough to affect the play, right? Like when guys are moving full speed?
Yeah.
I think we disagree.
We'll see. I don't know. I always have the receiver perspective, so right. I usually will disagree with anybody with a defensive perspective, but yeah, you know, it could be called, it could not be called. Let's put it that way. Did it impact the play? I'm not sure if it did. We'll see. But hey, they're forced to now make a play on 1st and 20. They've gone deep over the top once, but I think don't get too greedy, but again, getting some yards back to make it manageable. Because if they go over the deep, but I do think that mismatch in the secondary could play in favor of the North if they can go downfield with some of their big receivers. They've got some tall guys, some athletic guys. We'll see what they decide to do.
A little bit of a jungle on the snap there. Another handoff to Mian, has some space down the left side and a bit of a high tackle. Team North wants a flag. They're not going to get it.
Yeah, tackle's a tackle. A little bit of botch there. And again, he's forced to go to the edge. Again, used his speed. You can see the explosion he gets to the sideline. Again, yeah, it was a high tackle, but there's nothing, I mean, it is a contact sport, so. From an offensive perspective, you don't like it, but again, it's gonna happen. There's gonna be some physical contact. So here we go, second and 16 yards. See what they can do here. They're gonna have to go vertical.
Coyne lined up just below the screen. Quick little flip out to the right. The whistle hasn't been blown yet. There we go, okay. They were looking for Dustin Campbell. I'm thinking, run.
Pick it up and goes.
Was a forward pass.
Yeah, definitely.
That will bring out the punting unit for Team North.
You should have just grabbed it and taken off. The refs don't get to look at the replay. We get to see it. If maybe they didn't catch it and it was a forward pass, he's just going to take it and run and catch them sleeping a little bit.
So Team North able to pick up some yards, but after the big penalty on the block.
I'm faking this one.
It's a long one. They need 16 yards. But at the same time, they do need a play here at some point. They will punt it. Angled out towards the sideline, and it is out.
No, they don't. I don't think they get the yards that they wanted to. They sitting at the 45. We'll see what the net gain is here on this punt. It's like it's 20 some odd yards, just outside the 20. So not bad. Still liked it inside the 20 there, but again, you definitely don't want to kick it to your returners. get that to the sideline. Good job there, and let's see if the North defense can come up with another stop. Again, not their production on offense that the North is trying, and the South, we'll see if they can find their way here on this drive like they did in the first half.
Looks like Terrell Hoffland's still in the medical tent getting looked at. Injured on the kick return to start the second half. Nolan still in it, quarterback. Quick look out to the left. It's caught by Bodie Pettiford. And he's pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Close to a first down.
Yeah, it's a long throw to get it out to the wide side of the field. You can see them on the right hash getting it all the way out there. But again, you're seeing a cover 3 zone, so the corner is dropping off to take away any seam route. That leaves that flat open. It does take a strong arm to get it out there. Does a good job. A good job getting the extra yards after he makes that catch to make this a much more manageable second and short here. Keep the drive going.
Call it a 2nd and 3. Team South will need to cross the 32. A handoff up the right, spinning from one tackle, and then gets decked. Nathan Okorafor with the big hit. Stops that play in the line of scrimmage. Now there is some late flags here as well.
Well, see, this is a great shot right there. It finished the play. Now the question is what happened afterwards?
Dead ball foul, objectionable conduct. Number 8, 3rd down repeated.
He just didn't like it.
3rd down.
So that was on the running back, I believe, Tate Larson. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there
That's
you go.
going to be a penalty.
That'll get it every time. It wasn't a punch, but it was a slam the ball into the side of a helmet. And yeah, you'll get that. Yeah.
Rob, that's why I couldn't play football. I do that every time. Every time.
Yeah, well, and again, he doesn't get the perspective we do from, the awkward shot. He's got to turn. He's making a great move in the backfield to try to spin out of it. He doesn't realize he's just lined himself up for someone coming down untouched to take a shot at him. And it was a great defensive play to make a stop on the short yardage there, but now they've put themselves in a little bit of a hole here.
Team South will have to punt. Another run punt. And this punter's got a leg. And Stanley Stone, this one's fumbled by Garaba, and he makes the smart play just to hop back on. Now the whistle was blown.
Yeah, it was.
But Team South did recover, so there's going to be some talking here. So the whistle was blown. They were calling it Team North ball, but the ball was still loose. This is very similar to like in hockey when they blow the whistle, but the puck's still loose. Goalie hasn't covered it yet.
Well, I think the ref on the far side who blew his whistle saw that he had jumped on it, but he didn't get possession of it. It was kind of sitting under his body a little bit. So we'll see. And again, you have to remember, if he's got any possession and he's down, you can see there, is that in possession?
That ball definitely popped out. And right now, I believe the Team North offense is headed back onto the field. They caught a break there, no doubt about it.
Well, and the early whistle calls that dead because he kind of turns around, grabs it at the same time. Because, again, when you're down, different than the pros, you can have a knee down, pick up the ball, and get up and run. In here, if his knee's on the ground and he's essentially possessed the ball and somehow, whether it's trapped under his body, in his arm, that gets blown dead and the play's over. And that whistle blew, so the play was over. So the offense for the North is back out on the field.
Rutten. Looking deep on the go route. Nothing there, and there is a flag. Once again, normally this is in the area of DPI, but it looked like Adejuan might have pushed off there. Made a push on the DB a little late.
Kind of got caught up on his go route a little bit. I think out of frustration just gave him a shove. I'm not sure that's offensive pass interference. It's definitely pushing a guy after the play. We'll see what they end up calling this.
Offensive pass interference.
When you have that type of mismatch from a receiver to a corner, that is a big body. And in talking with the receiver coach, Rob Stryker, the head coach there at Paul Kane, really likes this receiver. He's a big body. He's a strong
Offensive
athlete.
pass interference. Number 1, 15-yard penalty. Down repeated.
Now they're definitely going to need to go deep. But give him a chance to make a play. He's got the size advantage. He's got the strength advantage. Give him an opportunity. That ball was just thrown too far. Didn't give him the opportunity. He couldn't quite get downfield. So I would give him a jump ball versus something trying to hit him in stride.
First and now 25. They're going to look to Adejuan again. It'll be a little bit of a pickup here on first and very long. Tell you what, there's been some costly penalties here on Team North in the second half. They've been shooting themselves in the foot a little bit.
Yeah, that 15-yarder on the offensive PI makes it a really tough one. That was kind of a frustration one, too. Like, again, he just couldn't get a clean release. It was well played by the defense, and that little push at the end of that really cost them. Again, 2nd and 10 would have been much, much better. But here we go. Now we got 2nd and, what are we, almost just under 20. They're going to need 2nd and 19. Got to convert this. They're going to have to punt this one away. So maybe another shot opportunity, see if they can find the matchup they want.
Need to go deep. Rutten. He will go deep looking for a Dejawan. It is intercepted. Bodie Van de Kratz comes down with it. Team South ball. Kind of works out as an arm punt anyways, right?
It really does work out as a punt. Probably less dangerous than a punt. But again, the deep ball, you know, great catch, great interception, nice play on the ball, and that's what you get with that soft coverage. But that's where you want your receiver to go make a play, go challenge that in the air, and that's the type of jump ball you want to send to a bigger receiver. Just wasn't able to convert on that one, and the South taking over. Instead of a punt return, they've got themselves an interception. Their offense back out on the field.
Yeah, you really don't mind taking that chance there. I mean, that was worst case scenario, right? They intercept it. You still get like a maybe even more than a 40-yard difference in field position. Like if you throw an incomplete pass there and you punt it away, you'd be very happy with that flipping field position, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Under 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Team South with another look on offense. That pass is tipped but caught anyways. Got tipped up into the air, still found its way to the target, Hunter Corbin. Not a big gain here for Team South. Maybe 5 yards.
Yeah, great focus by the receiver to keep his eyes after the tip. That's always a tough thing to do. And again, hold on to the ball. This is big contact there on the tackle. So good job of the South receiver getting 4 or 5 yards on the tip ball.
Call it a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Nolan, a quick look to the right, has a receiver right at the yardsticks, and more than enough now after the yak yards for Mark Schroeder.
Well, again, we talked about the quick passing game for the North, and the South are really just doing that. Like, quick game, defensive linemen don't have a chance to get in. Again, coverage seems to be cover 3. A lot of these all-star games, you see this zone coverage, force them to pick apart the holes, but they're doing a good job. Receivers are settling down into those spaces in the zone. Ball's being delivered in the right spot and on time. We did see both quarterbacks miss some in the first half, but they seem to be on point here on this drive.
Another play action, Nolan flushed out of the pocket inside of his own 30. Gets a throwaway as he took a hit. And the Team North bench is pumped right up. Like you said, we're in a dome, so we hear all the echoes.
It's good pressure on the quarterback, forcing him out of the pocket. You can see there. And again, you can see receiver number 1 coming across the field. The other guy trying to go deep and come back, but there's just no chance to get back. And so the pressure mounts on the quarterback. He's just got to throw it away, forcing a 2nd down and 10.
That was max intensity on the sideline there. That had to be the defensive line coach, Garrett Meek from St. Albert Catholic. If that was a wide receivers coach, I'd be shocked. Quick screen to the right. And Team South is going to have a good pickup here to Mark Schroeder once again. A first down and more.
You know, you can see that as the defenders drop into coverage, they're playing cover 2, and again, it's just not going to be enough. They don't have the luxury being down 16-2 right now to be soft in coverage and giving them that. I mean, as a 2nd and 10, you usually will be upright to give up a 6 or a 7-yard one, so you play soft coverage. But in that case, they just had one guy blocking the only soft or only flat defender, and that was an easy pickup for the South and great execution.
Last play of the third quarter, barring a flag, handoff to Park, cuts up the middle, and more good first down production for Team South. That will bring it close to the third quarter. No scoring through the last 12 minutes. Team South with a 16-2 lead as they will do the short flip of the field.
It's not going to be a long walk, as you mentioned. They're close to center field here, but they are going in on the North, looking to extend this lead. And you got to think at this point, you know, the South is just going to work this clock, put a drive together, use the clock, and keep their lead. Maybe get some more points on this. You know, a major on this drive likely puts this one out of reach, already down 14. And on the move here, the North has played well in the second half on defense, but this could be the drive that breaks them. They can't find a solution to this offense.
Still at a field goal range. Ben Nolan, a good kicker, but not quite hitting from 50 plus. There's a look out to the left. They have a receiver on the slant. It's a big gainer for Sabur Zishan.
Well, the North opting to go with the cover two. You can see the halfback vacating that zone, getting it in before the linebacker, and linebacker pushes to the flat, but he's late getting there and misses the tackle. And again, when you miss tackles on good athletes, they make you pay, and then yards after the catch was great. So there it is, the slant, broken tackle down the field. So that slant has proven one of the simpler routes to throw and to catch for quarterbacks when that chemistry is developed, and the South has clearly done that. They've hit some big plays on that throughout the course of the day. Most of their passing yards are coming on that slant route. It's been effective, including the opening touchdown of the game.
Kind of looking down the roster here, all the running backs, nearly all the running backs, and pretty much every receiver now, we've seen them get some touches in this game. Good job by the Team South coaching staff getting everyone touches as Ben Nolan gets taken down, no room over the middle.
Little mishandle on the snap that threw the timing off. You'll catch in the replay here. Just kind of, again, bobbles it right on his elbow. You can see there, pins his elbow, and that caused him to hold on to it. So not much you can do other than secure the ball, which you did a good job doing that. You don't want to turn it over there. Give yourself an opportunity on second down. You're maybe in field goal range. We'll see what the leg of these kickers are if they opt for a field goal.
I personally want to see a longer field goal with the net, and
it would be nice to see. Yeah,
the moving target a little bit.
Does he just hit the crossbar? And what does that look like? In what does that look like with the net uprights?
So it will be a second and long. That last play went down as a loss of 2 or 3. Team North, with under 10.5 minutes left now, they're pretty much needing a stop. They need to hold Team South and keep it a 2-possession game. Hand off to Park. Team South looking to just pick up some extra yards, and they're not going to find any. Nathan Okorafor eating up space over the middle.
Big stand in there, forcing the long field goal attempt. I think I heard the coaches calling for it to try to put this up by 3 scores. We'll see where they end up marking the tee and how long this field goal will be, but we get our wish. A long field goal to these new uprights on the indoor dome.
So Ben Nolan, the quarterback / kicker for Team South. Tee is down on the 35. This is a long one for Nolan. Team North does have a returner back, awaiting a possible miss. Nolan, kick is up. It's got more than enough leg, and it is in.
Not by a lot. It just got that in. I thought, I was like, oh, is that going to hit the outside or the inside? He just caught the inside. So the field goal is good. Now going up 3 scores. So again, not insurmountable, but definitely they need to get on the move and get on the move quickly here. The North does if they want to get some points on the board before it ends. So we'll see what their plan of attack is here. They've got a different quarterback back in the game. See what they can do again. He's had some reps. He opened it up. Philip Peck from Red Deer opened things up out of Hunting Hills in this game. Played the first quarter and a little bit of the second. They gave the rest of the second and the third to their other quarterback, and he's back in here in the fourth to see if he can generate some momentum. So we'll see how they attack this. Again, time is not on their side, so they're going to have to make quick work, whatever they decide to do.
He's got Westcott behind him, a few receivers lined up in trips to his left, and a couple to the right. Fake the handoff to Westcott. Philippek looking to the right. Finds a receiver in Carson Elkew across the 40. Gain of 6.
So you can see LQ in motion there, coming across the formation and slides out and just gets ahead of the defenders. Again, good ball placement on the pass, allowing him to keep running and get some positive yards.
Gain of 6 in the second and fourth for the North.
I think if you can score once, has to be a major before the 3-minute warning and you get the different clock rules. That run is going nowhere over the middle. Westcott met in the backfield. And this brings up an interesting decision now for Team North. A 3rd and about 5 in their own territory, but down by 3 scores with 8 minutes. I think you have to go for it, right, Rob?
You kind of do. I mean, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, manageable. I mean, they obviously called a run play thinking they were going to go for it on 3rd down here.
It's tough, right? You feel like you got to score at least a major before the 3-minute warning, get yourself within a touchdown and a field goal, and then, the different clock rules. In those last 3 minutes, I mean, we've seen 5-6 possessions last half in the last 3 minutes. But they'll need to score quickly at some point. There is a player down here for Team North. Looks like one of the linemen, Noah LaFleche from the Lacombe Rams. We've got a couple linemen on this team. Actually, one lineman and one receiver, rather. And LaFleche will head off under his own power. So Team North lined up to go for it. It is a 3rd and 4, so they'll call it no gain on the last play. They need the 45. Going to the air, Philippek over the middle. It is tipped and falls incomplete.
That's as a D lineman. That's a great adjustment. Again, you're not going to get to the quarterback. You can see there again, gets his hands up on his rush. Just couldn't get it. Didn't really see the receiver wide open, but they came in from the far side and really got a push to force that ball to get tipped there. So the South in full control. Offense is back on the field here, looking to run this clock out, secure the win, and possibly get some more points.
That was Mitchell Qualley. Called his name quite a few times today. Run to the right for Gage Parker. And a short pickup. That's going to keep that clock churning for Team South.
The great part about this position that the South have got themselves in, they've got a comfortable lead, a 3-score lead. Now they get to call the plays they haven't called all game. It's like, oh, hey, let's try a few different things, get a few different guys to the ball, see what works. And so we'll see some different. We haven't seen a lot of sweep action from them. Again, we saw that on 1st down, and then we got the 2nd down play coming in here. Again, the playbook is pretty much wide open for the South. Just be conservative. You don't have to be conservative. You just want to let these all-stars make some plays.
Ball spotted just inside the 40. Another handoff, and there's some space up the middle. Quick cut to the outside, and finally Holton Miguel is brought down from the Dr. E.P. Scarlet Lancers. Big run on a 1st down for the running back.
He's gonna. It's a great run to gain the yardage, extend this drive, and more importantly, the big killer right now for the North is that clock. They can't afford to let this clock wind away. It seems like there's one, you don't want to call it at this point in time, but the way the South are operating right now, this one may be in the books.
Liam Dybert isn't a quarterback, by the way. Seen Ben Nolan taking more of these possessions, and there is another big gainer.
Got a flag out midpoint, probably an illegal block. We'll see what this ends up being here.
Initial play, Holton Miguel got another big gain, and like you said, there is a flag down at about the 25, and the indication is that it's against the offense.
4 yards gained, holding, number 11, 10-yard penalty, 1st down repeated.
So you've seen it a few times today. Can you explain kind of the before yards gained issue to people at home?
Of course, yeah. So if it's in that case, I think we were 1st and 10, and so if the running back or the ball carrier, could be a receiver after a catch, gets past the 1st down marker and the penalty happens after he's gained that yardage, they get the 1st down, but they move it back from where it happens. If the penalty happens before they've gained that yardage, they move it back from the original line of scrimmage.
Dybert look to the right, and they have a receiver open, Bodie Pettifer from the Strathmore Spartans.
Right back to the slant they go. After again giving up some yardage on the penalty, again getting half of them back on the quick slant right before the linebacker. Again, a good job. And actually, the great part about that throw is often you'll throw that slant so he catches it on the run. He did a good job of actually throwing it slightly on his back shoulder to slow him down because he saw the linebacker pushing into the flat to try to take away that slant. So great job, great chemistry there by the quarterback receiver to make that work well.
Flags on the snap. Usually in the area of an offensive procedure.
Legal procedure, number 58, 5-yard penalty, second down repeated.
So again, they get a penalty, so it's 1st and 20. They get half of it back. They take 5 more yards back. So now they're looking at about 2nd and 17 here, trying to convert this. Again, probably an opportunity here for sure. I would say instead of a field goal, probably leaving their offense on the field if they can get some of these yards back and give themselves a reasonable opportunity on 3rd down. They went for a sweep where they tried to outman them on the last time. We'll see what they do here.
Quick look to the right and a screen out to the receiver. Bodie Pettifer makes a man miss. And now an open field. Pettifer finally hit it out at the 10.
Well, great space awareness by Pettifer as he caught that screen pass. He did a good job of setting up his block, keeping the extra defender to the outside. We'll see if we can catch it here as they get it out. Lyman out in front. You can see here he holds him to the outside and then steps inside and accelerates through the gap to gain 1st down yardage. What a great job and perfect execution on the wide receiver screen.
It was a 2nd and long, and they pick up a 1st down. Ball spotted at the 11 or 12. They can still pick up a 1st. Quick out into the flats. Hunter Corbin into the end zone. Touchdown.
So getting their backs involved. You can see sneaking out behind the play here again, comes across the field, sneaks out on the little screen, and off he goes. Good job blocking downfield, getting across the goal line, lowering his shoulder. Good job, good team execution. And you love to see receivers out there blocking for their teammates. You know, you're not going to catch tons of balls in games like this. There's lots of all-stars, but doing their work, working hard out in the secondary blocking, that really was the difference in a gain versus a gain that results in a touchdown. So good job, good team execution there by the receiver combos there.
Ben Nolan missed the extra point, and I know I didn't say anything, but the whole time I'm thinking he hasn't been thrown off by the net yet. I was going to say it. I'll take the blame on the commentator's jinx. I think as long as it's around the headset, right?
Yeah.
And misses the extra point just to the left.
Oh, we've seen lots of made kicks today. It was good to see a missed one.
Made a 35-yarder too.
Yeah,
Nolan did.
He had lots of leg there. So.
And by the way, that 35-yarder, I think it would have been good from 40 plus as well. So
he hit it very high on the mesh. So yeah, no, that was definitely lots of leg there.
Misses the extra point, but of course, would have been a 3-possession game regardless, with Team South now up by 23. Technically, this game's not over, but you'd need some quick touchdowns and 2-point conversions, and we haven't seen too much out of this Team North offense. Now we get to see, for the first time in the second half, this look at the kickoff formation for Team South. This time I think there's even more players lined up out to the left, and they would have numbers again if they want to go onside here, Rob.
Well, I'm sure they would. I'm sure they won't, though.
Nolan this time kind of looked to the left like he was going to onside kick, and instead goes deep to Garaba, fielding it just outside his own 10, and not a ton of room. So the setup on the kickoff is interesting because, of course, they'll have numbers if they want to onside kick it up by 23. Not going to do that. But you kick it to the left side, and look at all the numbers they got here.
Well, and I think they did a good job of trying to attack the left. Unfortunately, they missed the most dangerous player that was coming down on coverage. You can see there what a great individual effort in open field to make a tackle on a dynamic returner. Great job, great execution to avoid being blocked and finding the back. Because again, out in front of him, there's a little bit of green space that he could take advantage of if he would have beaten that tackle. But good job securing it, the special teams tackle.
Great look at that return from our end cut cameraman, Odell Nelson. Pass for Team North over the middle. Now it's caught, but it looked like it did skip into Elliott Wise.
He actually caught that. That was actually unreal. First they had some pressure.
No, he didn't catch that.
They gave it to him. I don't know if it hit the ground. They'll never know because only we'll know watching this. Let's take a look at this. I think he scooped that in.
Good look from the end cut cam. Let's see. Oh, he scoops
good.
that. What a catch from Elliot Wise.
Gets his hand back, scoops it into his body, keeps it off the turf. It was great.
I thought it was just a great cell job, but that's probably the nicest catch we'll see today. Elliot Wise, and that's a big gainer for Team North. Bootleg, and another reception for Team North. They're moving the ball here late. This time they find Nate Oltmans from the Sexsmith Sabres.
So Nate getting some touches, comes up with a little bit of a limp, you know, on special teams, getting the reception in there as well. Again, a very dynamic, quick, got good explosion. Seen him do some things. Again, it's good they're getting them out of the pocket. Again, taking away that pressure. They've got some defensive line pressure. Obviously, the box has been playing well, but you can also see a change in the South defense. Instead of playing with 4 linemen, which they've done for the majority of this game, they've gone with a 3-man rush. Again, that puts more guys into the linebacking core in the secondary, knowing that, again, trying to make quick work and get some points. Before this one wraps up, the North is going to be throwing the ball. So a lot of guys in the secondary look for the checkdowns, look for the flats, try to break a seam here.
Some flashes of good offense here from Philippek. A trick play, a look out to the left, and that one's gonna fall incomplete. That was Dustin Campbell from the Sturgeon Spirits trying to pass that one forward. I know his head coach Chad Hill, maybe he might have been cringing a little bit on that one.
Yeah, a little bit. Again, a little bit of a deep route for a non-quarterback to throw. Now, I mean, he could have easily been a quarterback for his team. That often actually happens. Is guys will maybe play quarterback at a different school, a smaller school outside the major centers, and then they're actually coming to this team and playing a receiver. We've seen that number of times. Seen different quarterbacks play safety or DB, which they often sometimes play both ways. So we'll see what they have here on 2nd and 10.
Ball at the 40, some quick pressure this time. They will find Campbell. He's not going to throw it here. He's going to try to pick up some yak yards. Does get past the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a short gain anyways. Maybe they have about a yard here. That'll bring up a 3rd and long, and looks like Team North's offense is going to stay on the field. Why not? Get these guys some more reps.
Yeah, well, maybe one more, maybe more. We'll see if they can execute here on 3rd and long. This North offense just hasn't found its groove today. You know, had some struggles and couldn't execute at times. They had a couple big plays to move the ball and flip the field a couple of times, but just not able to finish. We'll see if they can extend this drive here by executing on 3rd and 9.
Philippek pressured, steps up in the pocket, and finds a receiver. It is caught at the 53, good enough for first down yardage. There is a flag. It came a little later in the play, sitting at the 43.
And again, they brought the pressure there. It's holding there on 55, maybe. We caught it. It looked like a good block. Everybody got pressure except he stalemated him.
Number 57, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down repeated.
57. My eyes are failing me here, so I don't know. We'll see. But unfortunate, I mean, good execution, good finish on that. Unfortunately, it's going for naught, and the drive will be extended by at least one more play after the penalty. So we'll see if the North now going to go vertical here. We'll see if the South continues with their trend on 3rd and long, bringing some pressure. They've done that before. We'll see who's coming. And here they come, right from the free safety spot.
Good pocket here. Going to go over the middle to Campbell once again. And not much there for Team North. Team South offense going to come back on the field. Now, Rob, obviously a game like this, you know, you're going forward, 3rd and very long, but a game like this isn't necessarily about the score.
No, it's not. It's about giving these young guys an opportunity to showcase their skills, and you know, this is presented that for these guys. They've had the opportunity out there. You mean on the day like today, the South is in control. Obviously, at this point in time, they've done a good job across the board executing from their backs to the receivers. You know, the front 7 on the defense of the South really has caused enough trouble that the North hasn't been able to get going, and the South has taken advantage of the opportunities that they've created for themselves here, and they continue to run the ball here.
He'll fake handoff one way, they're going the other, and another first down for Holton Miguel. He didn't get a lot of looks earlier, but he's been running the ball really well late on in the game here.
Well, they do a good job of looking like they're running to the left here, and you can see a bunch of guys come to the left, but that counter going to the backside, really they've able to seal that. So again, it's like this blind run. As a defender, they're not able to see the back coming at them, so they're kind of stalemated, and by the time they recognize they're actually coming back, the speed of the back gets to the edge. And in that case, what a great run by the South to expose them on the backside of that.
Ball placed at the 21-yard line. We'll give it again to Miguel, this time looking up the middle, and he will take a hit from Samuel O'Connell. Gain of 1 or 2.
You can see there a good job by that front four. Just kind of stalemate at the line of scrimmage. We've seen some misdirection runs and trying to get to the edge, and that's where the South has really been able to run the ball effectively, moving the ball in different directions. In that case, good job by the North to stand strong there.
Second and long, and falling forward. Not sure exactly where the yardsticks are here, but that was Gage Parker.
It looks like they are moving the stick, so gaining another first down here. Just winding this clock down. They're getting heavy in here, so they're first and goal from what appears to be, is that the 7? Appears to be first and goal from the 7, bringing their heavy. Obviously, looks like they're going to commit to running this right down middle of the field here. Heavy group in. You can see fullback there lined up, different back in the backfield.
Ben Nolan in the game at quarterback as well. They're going to hand it off to Zach Miller. Good to see Miller getting a touch. Hasn't gotten too much action today from the Cochrane Cobras. My apologies, from the St. Francis Browns.
Yeah, another athlete I had the opportunity to be part of coaching that team he was playing on last winter. Again, solid athlete, really good back. Does, as you mentioned, has done a fair bit of blocking in different roles over the course of the day. Not a few touches, but I saw the Cochrane Cobra back in at fullback, and he was in the backfield originally. But he's like, "Hey, let's make a switch. Let's get you some touches here." So, great job of just supporting everybody on the team, doing a good job. They've got same personnel out with 5 guys at receiver and a fullback off the edge of the tackle, going to the air.
Going to the end zone, trying to find a man in the corner, and this might have been caught. It is! What a job by Mark Schroeder to get a foot down inbounds. It's been called a touchdown. Schroeder's second of the day.
And number 17 looking run to the back end zone. Oh, he got his foot down. That was a tight call. Great job. Ref right there in front of it. He did get his foot down before the second foot came down out of bounds. Again, we talked about the ability to showcase these athletes, and the South did it right there, executing and converting for the major.
Nolan didn't quite strike that last extra point well. We'll get another look at one here and one more chance to look at the kick in net today. And there's a flag. They're making us wait.
Another procedure on one of the linemen or one of the special teams players lined up in the lineman position. I'm going to move this one back.
So they just need to see whether Team North wants to take this on the kickoff or on the extra point.
So procedure. Number 5, we will apply that on the kickoff, 5 yards. Redo the convert.
As we wrap this one up, obviously the South in full control of this one and beating the North in dominant fashion. It's definitely something that will kind of stick around until next year's game when the North get their next opportunity to try to even the score. But the reality is on the day down here in Calgary, the South dominated from start to finish. I believe it was 16-2 at the half. Is that correct? And now they've doubled that up, 32. And the North just have not been able to find the momentum on offense and get to the end zone. So,
extra point was good from Nolan. Uprates could have been a couple feet wide, still would have went in. There's that look at the touch for Zach Miller, a couple plays before the touchdown. 42.9 seconds left on the clock. We'll get one last look at the Team North offense.
My New Year's wish is a big play on special teams right here. So let's get a little fire here in the last 42 seconds. Let's get a big play. I think they've been close a few times. The returners are dynamic athletes. They've done a good job. Obviously, the South winning the special teams battle, got the turnover on the short kick, and they've done a good job covering it. Let's see here if they still go with that. Strong to the left-hand side of the kicker, the far side of the field from where we're at. See if the North can come up with something here.
Nolan to kick it off again. His legs must be getting as tired as his arm.
He's getting some work in today.
Received by Garaba at the
flip.
15. They're going to fake a reverse. Garaba with some room down the left side, but a nice tackle.
Not sure if they
Pete
should have.
Ogbo from the St. Francis Browns.
I like the call on the fake reverse. Kind of saw it getting set up. We'll see what the cover team looks like, but maybe the reverse would have been the good call as he's coming. Well, that was a great coverage job. A couple guys on the back side of that, a couple guys on the front side. So good job all around once again by the South. But we do get another drive. See what the North can do.
Just over 36 seconds left in this game. Time for a few plays.
We got have a soft coverage. You're going to work to keep everything inbounds and in front of them. You can often see cover 4. This is what we're getting, cover 4 here. Backers dropping. All skips off the turf. First down.
Quick pass to the right was intended for Adejuan.
Now you're in a near impossible situation as an offense to try to throw the ball. They're rushing 3 and dropping 9 guys into coverage. There's just not enough space to make the throws, and that's why they're going underneath. Maybe you come back with like a screen, try to draw the rush in, get some of your linemen in blocking those extra guys in the secondary, but lots and lots of guys in coverage and everybody dropping deep to keep everything underneath with 34 left in this one.
Philippek fakes the handoff to Bilo, looking left, and they were looking for Coyne, but he was contacted before he could work back to the football. This is likely a pass interference call here, and that would reset the chains for Team North.
Well, the backer is going to be chasing this, and his eyes are away from it, so he can't see what's going on. You can see early contact, receiver working to fight back to that. And yeah, we got pass interference, so that'll give him a first down, give him a couple more plays here. We're going to finish this one out on offense if they can execute and run this clock out, but still, again, looking at a couple plays, giving an opportunity to somebody to make a play. Still like taking a shot deep. Give yourself a jump ball.
You just want a touchdown.
These guys aren't that soft, like that tight. So coming underneath on the in route.
It's Coyne again. He's been having himself a good game.
Two little dig route with the backers dropping so deep, and again, you teach your backers in kind of a prevent type of defense to get your depth. You can see they fly out of there. And again, that deep dig coming in from the left side of our screen. Nice timing, nice route, good execution by the North. Gonna wind this clock here from 22 coming down. This could be the last play. You kind of want to take a shot, but you want to make sure the protection holds up and you don't take a bad shot on your quarterback on this. See what they decide to do here. A little wide receiver screen.
Team South going to rush 3 once again. They'll fake the handoff.
Got the wheel.
Time running out. Philippek out to the right finds Coyne, steps out of bounds as the clock hits 0, and that game is over. Team South with a dominant victory, 32-2. Stick around for the presentation afterwards. We'll have some players of the game as well as Team South getting awarded with the Senior Bowl trophy as the teams line up on their respective sides. Seen a good game today, really, from Team South. They just, they
just chewed away at things. It wasn't like too explosive at any point in time in the game. Really, their defense stood tall and continued to give the ball back to them. The North did a good job at times, kind of holding the offense of the South at bay and giving their opportunity. But that offense of the North just couldn't get it going on this day today here. And again, you got to think about, the pride that comes with playing for the Southern Senior Bowl team and winning in dominant fashion like they did here today. And of course, many of these players would have crossed paths over the course course of this season, playing on their high school team against different players. And now, this experience for these guys is wonderful. Now that, all these guys they've either played against or some they've played with, now they get to join together and kind of unite as a team and play together and unify against the North or unify against the South. There really is something special, and relationships are built in the process of this weekend for many of these players that they practice with, they hang out with, they typically share rooms with as they're often in dorms or hotels over the course of this weekend, and they build good relationships. And now for some of them, they're going to move on to the next level and be competing against each other on junior teams or university teams. So a really good experience all around. And again, a shout out to the coaching staff on both sides that come from their programs. Typically head coaches, assistant coaches are taking different roles here, but again, coming together for a weekend, giving up of a Christmas holiday time or weekends over this time of year, really to pour into these athletes and give them a great experience. And although the North aren't going to be happy with the results, the experience I'm sure will be valuable that they'll remember for a long time.
Teams will line up on their 45s. As I said, players of the games, as well as the trophy presentation coming up shortly. At least in the past, we've had offensive and defensive players of the games.
Got a good fan base out here, lining the sideline over here near us, just cheering them on and supporting them, the parents and families and friends who have supported them for many, many years in their football journey.
We'll start with the most valuable lineman award. Next on the lineup, Dr. Randy Gillespie, former Calgary Stampeder, and this day he's playing for the Reindeer Ravens Reindeer. The most valuable lineman for Team North is number 99, Nathan Orafor.
So it's my mistake, most valuable lineman award. Nathan Okorafor from the Stettler Wildcats. He had a few tackles today, some pressure in the backfield.
The most valuable lineman for
And
Team
now for
South.
Team South.
From the Chinook Coyotes, number 87, Benson Benninger.
It's going to go to Benson Gruninger, the defensive lineman from the Chinook Coyotes.
Definitely not surprised the lineman award's going to defensive linemen. I think both front sevens did a good job at times. Those linemen caused a lot of havoc.
The most valuable player for Team North, the punter and lead tackler on the defense, number 9, Riley Easton.
Most valuable player for the North, going to go to a defensive player. Don't always see that. It's Riley Easton. Also, I believe, was punting today for Team North.
And for the South, the most valuable player.
Said he was the leading tackler. And it'll be Ben Nolan from the Notre Dame Pride, who spent a large part of the game at quarterback for Team South, winning the MVP for the team in red.
And now for the presentation of the Senior Bowl trophy. The Senior Bowl trophy this year has been renamed the Army in Your Cup.
So as you heard, the Alberta Bowl trophy recently renamed to the recently passed away Brian Anger Cup.
And was the television announcer for the Senior Bowl for his first 25 years of position. With the captains of Team South, please come forward to receive the Army in Your Cup.
Apologies, Arnie Anger Cup. And there is Team South, Ben Nolan and Jordan Southern, like I said earlier, fitting name, with the Arnie Anger Cup. From Shouldice Athletic Park in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. From the whole IC Live crew, Odell Nelson, Alex Testowich, Dave Foley, Rob Herod, and myself, Connor Toffin, and the whole IC Live crew, we thank you for tuning in. Team South with a 32-2 win.